Hey guys, we're in Thailand. I'm super excited to be here. We're gonna be here hopefully for at least 2 weeks. We don't have an exact itinerary, but we're gonna just kind of go with the flow and see where we end up. Right now, we flew from Kuala Lumpur to Krabi, which is like a beach town. So come along with us and let's see what we get up to. We stayed near Ao Nang, and our first dinner, we went to Kodam, and it has great reviews. You guys have no idea how excited I was for this curry. It was so good. Then we did a quick stroll through this tiny night market. It's not the official one, it's really small, but it had so many snacks and places to grab a drink or even some fresh fish. Then we walked around Ao Nang and I realized it's a huge party town, and we finally took a quiet little walk on the beach. In the morning, we started off with a peaceful yoga session. The shala at the place we stayed is so beautiful. I thought it was really peaceful and a motivating session. Then we walked over to a place called Yim, where we had such a yummy brunch. I had Thai tea, Chris had a mango smoothie, and I had to get that famous Thai curry again. Chris got some delicious noodles. Then we paid for tickets to go on a long-tail boat to Riley Beach. It was about 100 baht per person, and to be honest, I was a little scared to get on the boat, but it was actually really relaxing. I'm sure you can tell by the cloudy skies in the video that it was super rainy, but the view of the cliffs just popping out of the ocean was nonetheless breathtaking. We got off the boat and walked around the town and also said hi to some monkeys. To be honest, the rain made it really hard to sit and relax, but we still did our best to admire the beauty and enjoy at least a few minutes on the beach before it started raining again. Then we attended a boozy bingo night at a party hostel. It started off with a super cool fire show. It lasted way longer than I was expecting, and these guys were super talented. It was kind of like hypnotizing the way the fire made super cool designs. Then we got into bingo, and guess what? Your girl won. It ended up being really crazy, but it was a super fun night, one to remember for sure. Our last day in Krabi, we did a 4-island tour. It started in the morning. We started in the morning. We went to the meeting spot and hopped on our long-tail boat. I was hoping it wouldn't rain as much this day so we could swim more. And our first stop was the other side of Riley Beach. There was way less people here, and we ended up attempting to hike up the side of this muddy slope/cliff, and it was to see a viewpoint, but because we were on a tour, we ran out of time and turned around, and in return, we got to watch these cute monkeys. We got back on the boat and headed to the second island, which turned out to be a great swimming spot. The water was so warm and blue. You could actually walk across the sandbar here to the other island, and during low tide, there is no water, so the islands are connected. Then we got to catch a glimpse of the famous Chicken Island and not going to lie, I was getting pretty chilly here. Then we stopped at a snorkel spot, and there was literally tons of fish here. I stayed in the boat to enjoy the views of the rock cliffs behind us. Our last stop was Koh Poda, with the famous limestone rocks shooting out from the ocean. One of the most spectacular views of my life. I totally just sat on the beach for an hour or so just taking it in. Then we made it to Bangkok. We stayed in Chinatown, really close to the center of everything. First thing, we went to check out the subway system, and it was really simple and easy to use. Then we went to Terminal 21 Mall, and every level was based from a different country. I thought it was super creative and unique, and such a fun way to attract visitors to go to every floor to see what was next. There was even airport-themed signs at every level. The top 2 levels were Hollywood and San Francisco. Now, the main attraction at this mall is the Pier 21 food court. You pay cash to get this little card, and you walk all around these street vendors and get all different delicious types of food for insanely cheap. And every stand is trusted, and the ingredients are safe, so it's a good place to try street food if you ever get scared of getting sick from the street food on the street. On the way back home, we walked through the street market in Chinatown. There was literally so much going on, but it was so chaotic in like a good way. The street lights lit up, the crowds of people, the food, everything just felt so lively and interesting. The next day, we started off with some milk tea as we walked through Song Wat to get to the river so we could hop on the blue ferry, which we rode down through Bangkok. It was so pretty to see all the buildings rising up from the water. I love the views. Eventually, we made it to our destination. I got a toasty and a kimbap roll from 7-Eleven, and then went to check out Wat Arun, also known as the Temple of Dawn. It's right next to the river, and this famous tower is covered completely in porcelain. We went midday, but during sunrise or sunset, the porcelain supposedly shines as the sun hits it. It cost about 200 baht to enter, and it was totally worth it because there was so much to explore here. There was multiple temples, so much information about Buddhism. I even got to ring these little bells near the temples. To be honest, I was so in awe of the entire thing. It's truly beautiful. So many colors and the golden Buddhas everywhere. I also felt such a feeling of peace and tranquility walking around. There was a bit of a crowd, but it wasn't too horrible. When we were done exploring, we went to Icon Siam, which is a famous shopping mall in Bangkok. You might even say it's iconic. We entered into the food court area and quickly realized that there was sections, and those sections were based off different regions of Thailand, which I loved. We saw some crocodile barbecue, and that actually shocked me a little bit. And I just loved walking around and exploring here, and this was just one floor of the mall. The rest of the mall was really cool and futuristic. They have all different types of stores here. We visited the Pop Mart store on the top floor, and I'm pretty sure it's famous because it was so full of people. Everything was so cute. I finally understood why people are such big fans of the Pop Mart business. I also didn't know Labubu was from Pop Mart, but now I do. There was also a Demon Slayer pop-up store, and it inspired me to go home and watch an episode. For dinner, we went to a Michelin-recognized restaurant called Orare Braised Goose. This place opened at 4 p.m. We got there at 4:15, and by 4:45, they were all sold out. I will let that speak for itself on how good it was. Best part, guys, this all cost about $10. After dinner, we enjoyed the Songwat area a little more. It's cool, super edgy. There's plenty of stores to check out and coffee shops to chill in. To end the day, I got a relaxing oil massage. The next day, we paid 300 baht to enter Wat Pho. This is right across the river from the other temple we visited. This is the oldest and largest temple in Bangkok. At first, we were having a hard time finding the reclining Buddha. We were getting so distracted by the beauty all around us from the moment we entered. There was plenty to see and explore here, and I still couldn't get over how beautiful these Buddha statues are. I mean, just look at the detail in this. It's actually insane. Finally, we found the reclining Buddha, and it was so big. I was actually shocked because I was not expecting it to be literally ginormous. It is one of the largest reclining Buddhas in the world. It represents entry into complete spiritual enlightenment. On the feet is the story of the entire world. On the way out, you can put coins in these pots for good fortune. We continued exploring a little more, taking in all the beauty and grandness of the temple, and we ended up at the crocodile garden. I don't think there was any real crocodiles in here. And in the evening, we went to Ban That Thong. Guys, this has to be foodie heaven. Every direction you look, there is delicious restaurant or street vendor calling your name. I love finding areas where locals and tourists mix in together and to get to enjoy the culture together. This was one of those spots, and it was incredibly enjoyable. We went to try some tom yum noodles at Kuk Kai, and what a masterpiece of deliciousness these noodles were. So full of flavor and so good. For dessert, we went to get ice cream at Samosorn and had a banana creme brulee sundae. I'm not kidding. This was way too delicious. And of course, end of the night with Thai tea. We started off the next morning with some snacks from 7-Eleven, and then we went on a stroll. And to me, there's something so beautiful and peaceful about Bangkok, especially this area. We made it to Talat Noi, which is an artsy little neighborhood with so many cute little coffee shops and artistic areas. There's a museum by the river, but I decided to do a little workout and enjoy the view instead. This area is really popular for the colorful street art that you can totally lose yourself in. It's easy to spend a good amount of time taking pictures and exploring the different art here. I found it to be really cute and entertaining. Then we crossed the river on a little ferry and headed over to a place called Corgi in the Garden because I wanted to get some cuddles from some really cute dogs. We got handed some rules to go over and ordered some coffee while we waited for the corgis to come back from their break. And when they came in, it was pure joy. So fluffy, so soft, and so cute. Every dog had their own funny personality, and I made sure to ask how they keep the dogs healthy because we were feeding them treats the whole time. Now, it was just carrots and broccoli, and we were told that the dogs get switched out every day, and on the days that they aren't at the cafe, they're doing a lot of swimming and exercise, which is good because these cuties were so food motivated. When we were done having fun with the corgis, we walked through a nearby park and enjoyed watching the locals enjoy their evening there. And we actually walked over this bridge to get to this super cute boat noodle restaurant, and we really enjoyed these noodles. They were so rich, and the pork was like melt in your mouth delicious. We took a small boat back over to the other side and found ourselves walking through a cute little alley during sunset, and then we made it to iconic Siam to watch the popular water show, and we were taken aback by the beautiful Christmas light display outside. We waited for like 20 minutes right in the front, and I realized no one else was really sitting too close like us. It only took a few minutes once the show started that we realized that we were going to get soaked. The show was amazing, but if you plan on going, don't be so keen on getting right up in front like us, especially if you want to stay dry. It was a fun little free thing to do. I'm glad we went. And finally, we got to see the new Zootopia at the movie theater in the mall, and I was so excited. The theater was super fancy, and the movie was great. The next day, we visited the tallest freestanding statue in Thailand and also a super interesting museum, the Erawan Museum. This turned out to be a very beautiful place that gave you a lot of insight on all different religions. The garden was incredible and peaceful, and I could sit in this garden for hours and just admire its beauty. I thought it was the perfect way to spend an afternoon. We spent more time admiring different altars before we went inside this magnificent building. Each pillar has the history of a different religion, followed by a detailed description of their beliefs. To me, the detail and the art that went into making this place was just incredible. I was obsessed with the staircases and the beautiful skylight. I would definitely recommend visiting this place. Our last day in Bangkok had arrived, and we spent most of the day at Lumpini Park, visiting the prehistoric water monitors and beautiful birds. This park is so breathtaking and peaceful. It's located right in the city center. After we went to check out Central Park Bangkok, it opened just 2 months ago, and the pink escalators were by far my favorite part. We went up to the outside garden overlooking the city in such a peaceful, beautiful way, and that's how we ended our time in Bangkok. That's all for this part of our Thailand trip. Come back to see the rest. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!